It is over.
Hey everybody, happy Tuesday to you all, and I am coming to you today for a Raw recap this morning. So we all know we got a lot of news yesterday during the afternoon, and it was kind of crazy for a little while. We heard rumors about a new faction. We heard rumors about Shane McMahon being on the show and so on and so forth. Also some rumors that credit Gary Cassidy, because I did see all of these on his page, but also rumors about how the show was just insanely crazy and it seemed disorganized and that they taped 2 shows back to back and it just seemed like just completely out of sorts. Well, if you guys watched the show last night like I did, I think you probably came away feeling what I said last, because I know I did. I just felt very confused by it all. Wasn't really sure where they were going with any of it, with the Raw Underground that we got from Shane McMahon. Of course, we got the things with the lights going off, the power going off, the mics going off. Heck, they even had me thinking it might be CM Punk with everybody tapping on the mics for what they were, and kind of reminded me of, when CM Punk was tapping on the mics with the pipe bomb stuff. I don't know, man. It was just all over the place, and obviously, sometimes you need a little bit of time to think about it, so I slept on it, and this is what I think now, after seeing it last night. Obviously, yes. Was it a good Raw? No, I don't think so. There was just it did feel very disjointed, as the article had said. It felt kind of just all over the place, like there was no direction really with it. There was some great spots. Obviously the Randy Orton and Drew thing I thought was good. The Seth and Dominic thing I thought was good. So there were some good things on there. Now, let's get to Raw Underground first. So Raw Underground to me comes off as if they're trying to be edgy. Obviously, we saw, it looked like it was in a basement. Kind of reminded me, I said, of Fight Club and Bloodsport from the 80s. I'm not a big UFC watcher, so I can't say that it would remind me of UFC, but I guess it did for a lot of people. And yeah, I can certainly see that. Again, darker room. It looked like it was in a basement. No ring of ropes or anything in there, just a ring with the poles there. Guys all around the area, and then they had some people in there. We saw Dolph Ziggler. We saw some guys from NXT. We saw the Viking Raiders in there as well. So, look, they're trying to, I guess, make it a little more edgy, but what I didn't really understand is give the whole last portion of the show to Raw Underground. You want to do this, and I have said this very often, get away from the 3-hour Raw. So back it back to 2 hours. You could have fit that other stuff in the first 2 hours and then give the ending of this to this new edgy show that you're trying to put over. Let them do their thing for the last hour, maybe last half hour if you want to make it shorter, but have them do their thing in there and then just see where it goes. The Hurt Club, they started off the show making them lose. So it really didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, of course, MVP loses his title, doesn't win, of course, early on. Shelton Benjamin loses the 24/7 title. So, and then these guys go and they're all pissed off because of how they lost and, lighting hurt them and this and that and the other thing. And then they end up in Raw Underground at the end and they clean everybody up. They just go in there, they just clean out the whole room, and they look really, really strong at the end of the show. So great, but, it just kind of doesn't jive with what you were doing with them early in the show. So again, very disjointed, very odd feeling to me. Now, can this Raw Underground be something? Very possibly, because they've got guys they can use there. Again, like Dolph Ziggler, like the Viking Raiders, kind of rebrand them maybe a little bit, have some guys that don't really fit into your scheme of things in the main show kind of be in there. Look, this would be a perfect place to have Brock Lesnar in, right? I mean, he's an ex-fighter, so, anybody like that can certainly step in there. Shayna Baszler, maybe. Ronda, if she comes back, can fit really well in that format. So I could see it. Now, the Dancing Girls, not necessary. Get rid of the dancing girls. I don't understand that. I guess, again, edgy and, but look, that kind of stuff just doesn't fly in this day and age. You've got a women's division now. You've got a really popular women's division. There's no need to kind of do that stuff. I mean, look, to me, that it just didn't make sense. Cutting every couple seconds to the dancing girls, have Shane talking to them. I didn't get, and I don't think it's necessary if they want to move forward with it. But, this could have a future. It just really depends on what they want to do with it going forward. But, let's see what happens on next week's, because next week's the second half of the taped show that they did yesterday. So let's see what we get from next week's show. And if it's as discombobulated as this week's was, I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. Now let's get to the faction. Of course, we heard all day yesterday there's a new faction. WWE even said there was going to be a new faction. They copyrighted a name called Just Us, Justus. Everybody kind of went nuts about that. What is it going to be? Is it going to be is it the hacker? Because we saw the glitches come back. Is it going to be the guys from NXT? Because Dijakovic's account is black on Twitter now. Everything's blacked out. And then so is Ciampa's is the same way. Now his Dijakovic's had some messages there saying we will rise from the ashes on his other two accounts. So what's going on with that? Are they part of this faction? Well, we saw a video clip of what was supposed to be the faction, and they didn't look all that threatening. Now, I mean, the camera angle could have been bad, but, we saw them kind of throw pipe bombs into a generator, throwing bombs into it and blowing up. It didn't even look like a generator. It was really bad. And if you look at that scene, and I have the picture on our Twitter, next to it was an actual generator, and that other big thing did not look like a stack of amps at a concert, really. But you did a little investigating, tried to look at that picture up close. It does look like there's 3 men and 2 women in the picture. There's a woman in the middle who is left-handed. So I kind of went through and looked up left-handed superstars just in case, and the only one I could see was Ronda Rousey. Now, Ronda is a shorter, she's 5'7", so it could have been, look, you never know. It's all speculation. I know people were saying they look like, kids, playing a prank on stuff, and I agree. That at first I thought they were ninjas, because I saw the person all the way on the left, who's the bigger person that was there, isn't wearing a hood. He looks like he's wearing a ski mask. So I kind of thought, are these the ninjas doing that at first glance? So I don't know. If this is indeed the new faction, you could start to speculate all you want and think of what wrestlers are who's in there. Is it Ciampa? Is it Dijakovic? Dijakovic could have been the taller guy on the end. It could have also been Eric Rowan, because he had a build similar to Eric Rowan's. There definitely looked like there were 2 women there, so 3 men, 2 women, who knows? But obviously now we're going to get the payoff next week. I kind of hope so, because they built this up and they put this out there on their social media saying that we were definitely getting a faction, and we did not. We saw them, but we didn't hear what they were doing, who they were, or anything like that. So if we get a payoff next Monday, okay, I guess I can go with it, but we'll see. So yeah, those were the big things. Obviously, we also heard that Dominic is going to wrestle Seth. And, of course, we got the Drew and Randy Orton thing. And looks like Shayna Baszler is getting involved in the title picture as well. And Asuka gets to earn a rematch with Sasha if she beats Bayley. Now, we're always asking, is this going to be the time when they finally blow up, those two go against something going to happen here, where it's going to lead to the match between those two? We'll see, I guess. Not really sure. And then, of course, we had the 24/7 championship, which we all know is pretty much just a joke championship. Go back to Takira Ozawa. So, yeah. But other than that, it was a crazy Raw. Looks like they're trying to head in some new directions, which I guess you got to give them credit for. They're trying. I mean, it's, the ratings are bad. They've got to try to come up with something. There were rumors again, and Gary had this on his page today, that Vince McMahon was not at all happy with the show. So we'll see. Is this Underground going to last? Is it going to be a one and done or a 2 and done thing, and it'll never be shown again? Maybe. But I guess we'll see. That's it, guys. I just wanted to come in and kind of give you a wrap up on Raw, and we will talk to you again very soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.